afternoon. I almost got to the morning. Good evening. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good morning. Whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations. I'm your host, Mike S. Miller. This is my daily, almost daily, I don't do it on Sundays, Bible show, so to speak. We speak about all kinds of topics, biblical, extra biblical. Actually, that's it, huh? Biblical or extra biblical. What else you got? Cultural. We talk about lots and lots of things here, but we focus this hour of the day on Jesus because he is Lord and King. Thank you all for being here. Let me go to my channel, see if we've got some people trickling in. Thomas Fitzpatrick says I'm back. Let me know, guys. Let me know if you guys are getting your notifications, because I am trying to, trick the old algorithms at YouTube and make sure I don't put anything that's going to get me struck for, I don't know, being a conservative, born-again Christian, because that seems to be their enemy. Aaron, you are always right there, first in line. What is up? Do you have me on speed dial, perhaps? What's up, Aaron Alfecci? All right, let me open this up a little bit. Yeah, that's weird. You didn't pop up on the restream chat. Oh, I guess the restream has to catch up. But let's see who's here. Aaron, Lady Celtic Moon, Andrew J, Metalhead, you are right. Kind Wizard, peace be with you as well. Ray Thulu, Perkindo, Kind Wizard, Notification Gang. Yes. Nice to see notifications. Yeah, so what I've been doing, in case you guys haven't noticed, is I've been making sure to leave out words like Christianity, Christ, Jesus, Bible, faith, out of the title and from the description. So in my description, I just go ahead, try to keep it out. Yeah, I did. I even use the word choice because the left loves the word choice, don't they? Except for when it's anything other than abortion. But then I go in, I use associated Twitter hot topics for the day. And so that's what I title under unrelated, although sometimes it is related. So there it is. Who else is coming on in? Zephon, what up? Michael Roth, hello. Igor and Liberty Bell, welcome one and all. 20 people in here already. Getting kind of funky. All right, let's see. I don't think I had any real commentary from the previous episode. Let's see. Why am I typing in Wells Fargo? Why does that? I don't need that. YouTube. Let's go to yesterday's episode of Cross Examinations. Who is texting me at this time? Yes, sir. How can I help you? Alrighty then. Micah! Give me that lid. Give me that lid. That's a great idea. That way I can make sure I don't spill this. Thank you.
Stole my idea.
Ha ha ha. Look at that. Put a tumbler lid. Oh, it's not sticking. Oh, that's not going to help. Alright. I don't need it. It doesn't stick enough. It doesn't stick to... Yeah, but it doesn't... Not when it's wet.
You made it wet.
Any news on Star Wars Girl Sister? I do not know. I didn't see anything on Twitter, so if anybody knows anything, please do update us. Edwin said that Tug's wife was all good, so... Yeah! And, Perkindo, how's your son? Let us know. What is this updating I'm getting? 1244. 12. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt my own share. Forget it. Gosh darn it, I get so many notifications on my phone. I'm just going to put it all the way over there so I don't have to deal with it. And then let's go, once again, apologies. Let's go over to yesterday's show and see if there was any commentary that might be helpful with today's topic. Alright, Bruno just says he needs to catch more live streams. Chris Mason says, paradoxical, I missed the show and winning my comic book. Oh, should I do another giveaway today? Should I do? Nothing new that you're aware of? Okay. Alright. Well, guys, keep Perkindo's son in your prayers. Don't have a lot of details on that, but we know he needs it. So, Chris Mason says, most all left media is bought and paid for. The rest are useful fools. I would use the word useful idiots, because, heck, that's what, who called them that? Did Marx call them useful idiots? Or was that Stalin? Birds of a feather. Power Ranger 3000 says, love your channel, just subbed to you. Seen you on Geeks and Gamers. Right on. And thank you, Jeremy, for hosting me. Power Ranger says, you being a comic book artist, have you ever seen The Picture Bible? Yes, I did. I do. I have it somewhere around here. It's probably in the kids' room. And what do you think about it? I think it is a good way to get kids in the Bible. I do have it. It's a little kind of old school, which is... It's cool. Everyone else is saying it was Stalin. Yeah. But the one the kids like is the Action Bible by our friend Sergio Cariello, who has been on the channel for Drawn and Quartered. I should probably have him on here sometime for cross-examinations. This is probably more of his time slot. Someday, but maybe. I'm not best friends with Sergio, so I don't know. Hello. What's up? Interruptus. Constant interruptus, this channel. Perkino says he's doing well as he can. We found out the total cost is going to be $5,000. If he doesn't get the surgery, it's going to permanently affect his vision. Not sure what we're going to do. Boy, been there. Although I didn't break. Did he break his occipital bone? Is that what happened? Because I got kicked in the head when I was 21 years old. Is it this side? Can't tell. You'd have to see the... I still have a scar. It took like 11 or 14 stitches, something like that. Really small stitches to close it up. And yeah, that's the reason why I should wear glasses today, because it messed up my right... messed up one of my eyes, and then they covered up my eye, and then my other eye overcompensated. It's weird. It's weird. If you cover up one eye, you'll mess up your... If you cover up your one eye for a while, it'll mess up your vision, because your other eye will start overcompensating somehow or another. And then when you release, it's like it's weird. Are you a brawler, Mike? No. Foolishly, had I been a brawler at the time, I probably wouldn't have gotten... I was a freaking idiot pacifist at the time. And so, my friend Donnie, who was... okay. We were at a bar in San Jose. And, the fight probably kept me from going home with a girl, which might have been all for the greater good. I don't need to get into that part of the story, but I knew this girl previously, and this would have been a foregone conclusion had I gone home with her. But my friends like to fight. And so somehow or another they got into a fight, and then ended up getting pulled outside, and then it was Donnie is like 6'3", 5'4", probably weighs, or back then, probably weighed 275, 300 pounds, and it was all muscle. Well, a layer of fat. He didn't have a six-pack or anything. No, March Hare, never mind. I'm not going to get into that. Bubba, Andy, who is Samoan and made everyone look like hobbits. Who else was there? Was Carlos there? I think Carlos might have been there too. Huge, yoked out. Think Jaimon Hansu. Carlos was just pure muscle. So these guys loved to fight, and I'm always with them. Little 5'6" 3/4 Mike. With and at the time I was a pacifist. And so they're outside fighting with the bouncers. It was the funniest thing watching Bubba. I just had pictures of King Kong because I just remember seeing Bubba just like in slow motion almost, just like swinging back and forth, and like bouncers flying off of him. It's like an image I'll never get out of my mind. But then I look over here, and Donnie is on the ground, and a bouncer is stomping on his head. I have pictures. He's literally got like a boot mark on his face the next day. And me, being a pacifist and not a trained martial artist as I was at the time, who should have been using my skill set to fight off someone who was hurting my friend rather than what I did. So I run over and I push the bouncer off of Donnie, and I laid over him to protect him from being stomped on again. The bouncer took the opportunity to use my head as a football, and I ended up in the hospital, 14 stitches. I should have just roundhoused the guy to the... So stupid. So pacifism. See, at least you know, when I adhere to an ideology, even though I was nearly a black belt in Taekwondo at the time, when I adhere to an ideology, I am forthright in that ideology. Urgh. And it cost me my vision. I'm 5'7". We round up to 5'7", 5'6" 3/4. You used your face to beat the crap out of his foot. Good on you, Mike. I don't think his foot even noticed, honestly. Japanese, a proud warrior culture. What a shame. I know. I took out the West Side Skins from Detroit, and I have the scars. The bouncer bounced back. No greater love. No greater stupidity either, apparently. Yeah, guys. So, pacifism. If somebody's hurting your friend, pacifism won't stop your friend from being hurt. So, yeah, bad time. Freaking John Lennon, man. Way too much of an influence on my life in my younger years. Oh no, I think this might be my ex-sister-in-law. Sorry. Hold, please. Oh, never mind. Hung up. Haha, good. Good. All right, so I have other stories where in times where I wasn't a pacifist, but this isn't the Mike fighting show. I didn't get into a lot of fights. I think it was funny because most of my life, everybody that knew me knew that I was a martial artist, and so It wasn't until I got into high school that there were people that like didn't know me, because in middle school, in grade school and middle school, I started taking Taekwondo in 3rd grade. And so in grade school and middle school, this has nothing to do with Christianity, because I was not even a Christian back then. Everybody just kind of knew not to mess with me. That it was just assumed. So it wasn't until high school, really, that that anybody didn't know me. And so for the first time, someone tried to bully me, but I was already so, I don't know, what's the word, cocksure? This big old football player senior, when I was a freshman in high school, tried to bully me, and I was like, oh no you didn't. And I swear, dude, I was like 155 pounds. I was like, he probably would have beat my butt, but I didn't. I didn't. He couldn't bully me just on the basis that I didn't allow him the fear that he probably usually got out of the little pipsqueaks. I was a little pipsqueak, man. 155 pounds. I was like probably, I don't know, 5 feet. I was little. It was freshman year. And I think this guy was, he was on the football team. Senior. I guess it's a lot about attitude, A lot about attitude. Victim attitudes beget victims. So that has greater connotation than just dealing with getting through high school. But let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat. 46 people watching now. What the heck? Come on, go to the bottom of the chat. I love this new hashtag Mike Fights show. No, that's not. Unfortunately, the last fight I got into was with my own brother. That didn't last very long. You put your face on the line, Mike. I know. Max, why are you climbing that way? Come on, jump on there. Come on. Here, jump on the back. Come on. What the heck are you doing, dude? There you go. It's like walking on all my paperwork and stuff. Yep, Paranormals is tonight. C.S. Lewis has some great writing on pacifism. I haven't read that. Swing and pray. Imagine no possessions. Communist. Comedy Gold, come on. Pacifism not even once. It better to be judged by 12 than carried by 4. Isn't it carried by 6? We're rounding up. I'm 6 feet. If we're rounding up, I'm 6 feet. If you're willing to spot me 2 inches. Well, if we're rounding up to feet, I'm 6 feet too. Right? 5'6" and 3/4 is above 5.5 feet. So I just round up to 6. We're all good. Shoot, I am like jumping up and down and all over the place. As much as a godless commie John Lennon was most of his life, he saw the light towards the end. I've seen several of his buddies mention that he really liked Reagan. Well, John Lennon actually accepted Christ as well for a period. Oh my gosh, what the fart? Virginia?
West Virginia.
Alright, I'm just going to turn off my ringer. This is ridiculous. I don't want to hear from any of you. Yeah, John Lennon accepted Christ, became a born-again Christian for a period of time towards the end as well. I don't know what period that was or how long it stuck. So, I mean, honestly, I don't know what John Lennon's eternal existence is going to be like. I hope he's in heaven. I hope I get to see him because, I mean, yeah, Oh my gosh, so many distractions. But yeah. Dark Admiral says, one of the best fighters I ever knew personally wouldn't fight unless he had no choice. Yeah, I wouldn't fight. Yeah, it's like the last choice. Okay, here's a really weird, another sort of, I don't know if I've told this story before. I think I have. This is kind of the me not standing up to bullies thing. Oh, wait, and this was in middle school. So I had been trained. It had been drilled into me in Taekwondo that you do not use martial arts against an opponent unless your life is in danger, right? They don't say unless you're scared or unless somebody hits you first. They say unless your life is in danger, you do not use martial arts on another opponent. I'm that weird kid who takes things seriously when I'm taught that way. So there was this kid. God, what was that guy's name? Anyways, I had a calligraphy pen. We were outside of, I don't know, one of my classes, and in like 6th grade, maybe. Yeah, I think it was sixth grade, 6th or 7th. And so, no, it must have been 6th. And I dropped my calligraphy pen, and this guy who's like towered above me, he must have been in 8th grade, or he towered. Well, I was tiny. I was a small kid, so, and I was always the youngest kid in my class. So if he could have been in my grade, and he still would have towered above me. So he picks up my calligraphy pen that I dropped, and he stuck it in a pile of steaming hot, fresh dog poop. And so I picked it up, and I looked at it, and I looked at him, and he was all looking at me smug, like, what are you going to do? So I took it, and I remember distinctly that he was wearing a vest, because I wiped the dog poop on his vest. And then he punched me, and I did nothing. I should have blocked it, but he punched me, and I got a bloody nose, which, honestly, he didn't punch me that hard. You guys have seen me. I get bloody noses. Like, I have really weak capillaries. And I didn't do nothing. I should have. Anyways. I go back to my Taekwondo class, right? And I'm like, I was all proud of myself, right? I'm like, hey, I told him the situation, and this guy punched me, and I'm like, and I didn't use my Taekwondo. And everyone in the class was like, man, you should have kicked his butt, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do none of you listen to master? You're not to use Taekwondo unless your life is in danger. Oh, man. So funny. But whatever. Should have murdered him. Anyways, because I didn't punch him back or hurt him in any way, I just took the punch and just had the bloody nose, and then my teacher noticed I had a bloody nose. He got suspended. This has nothing to do with cross-examinations. All right, we should really let's just move on to the topic of the day rather than continuing down this bizarre road of stupid things Mike has done in his life. It's not too late, Mike. You should find the guy. Mike, people have died for less. John Wood says, personally think Lenin was manipulated. Just saw a 2012 doc. He's the Winged Beetle. It's on archive.org. What are you doing? You're making so much noise, cat. SV says, I took Taekwondo. I prefer hammer style. I throw the hammer. I took Taekwondo, then I took Wing Chun, and then I took Wushu. I really like Wushu. I really like Wing Chun. I should get back into a class here in town for Wing Chun. I love the simplicity of Wing Chun, but I love the grace of Wushu. So, master of the stinky fist. Yeah, so guys, you know the deal. Like and share. Like and share. Yelling at cats always work. They really listen. Do you find that to be true, Athulu? Because I do not. Oh my gosh, you are being so annoying right now. What is he even doing? What are you sticking your head in? What is... smell or something? What is this? Here.
I'm smelling everything.
Get out.
You're so mean.
Gosh, it's so annoying. That cat is whack. Did you see the movie Ip Man? I love Ip Man. Ip Man 2. I haven't seen all of Ip Man 3. I've seen some scenes though. Or wait. I love Ip Man. I think I could be wrong. So anyways, let's pop up the actual topic du jour. If I can find it. Oh my gosh, cat, stop. He's trying to get back in the room. Chrome Hangout, window capture. Window capture? Window capture? That's the one. Oh, whoa, that's way too big. Alright, let's squeeze that over here. So, owing to the topic du jour, freedom of choice, from ChristianHeadlines.com, will face the same choice between career and convictions as former U.S. women's soccer player Jailene Hinkle. Recently, the U.S. women's soccer team thumped Thailand 13-0 in the Women's World Cup. It got ugly and led to criticism. Some felt the American ladies wrongly ran up the score and that their goal celebrations were a bit over the top. Well, whether that criticism is just or unjust, you can't blame the best left back in U.S. women's soccer. You can't blame the best left back in U.S. women's soccer. What? You can't blame the best left back in U.S. women's soccer. How am I supposed to read that? It's because Jailene Hinkle wasn't on the pitch during the multiple celebrations. In fact, she's not even on the team. Hinkle's saga began back in 2015 after a Supreme Court decision. Oh, okay. Legalizing same-sex marriage, in quotes. Hinkle posted the following on Instagram: I believe with every fiber in my body what was written 2,000 years ago in the Bible is undoubtedly true. This world may change, but Christ and his word never will. Amen, sister. As you can imagine, this made Hinkle a marked woman, especially among soccer fans who identified as LGBT. Then, in 2017, Hinkle chose to withdraw from the national team rather than wear a U.S. team jersey sporting rainbow numbers in order to celebrate gay pride. Hinkle explained her decision. I just felt so convicted in my spirit that it wasn't my job to wear this jersey. I gave myself 3 days to just seek and pray and determine what God was asking me to do in this situation. If I never get another national team call-up again, then that's just a part of his plan, and that's okay. Maybe this is why I was meant to play soccer, to show other believers to be obedient. Well, her obedience came at a price. Playing for the North Carolina Courage team in the National Women's Soccer League, Hinkle is the recipient of boos and jeers almost every time she touches the ball. And in the run-up to this year's Women's World Cup, U.S. coach Jill Ellis invited Hinkle to try out for the team. After 3 days of workouts, Ellis, who is gay and married to her lesbian partner, cut Hinkle, citing footballing reasons. Many were skeptical that the best women's fullback in the country, something even her pro-LGBT critics admit, isn't good enough to play on the U.S. Women's World Cup team, according to SB Nation's Kim McCauley, who, by the way, called Hinkle a vocal homophobe. There isn't a better pure tactical fit available for the U.S. team than Hinkle. Now, McCauley posits that Coach Ellis only invited Hinkle to try out to avoid a lawsuit. Nonetheless, the mere fact that Hinkle was invited to try out sent LGB fans into conniptions, with the usual complaints of feeling betrayed and hurt that someone with traditional religious views might dare represent the U.S. More rationally, some fans concerned about team chemistry. After all, as I already mentioned, Coach Ellis is gay, and team star Megan Rapinoe has posed without clothes on the cover of ESPN magazine with her girlfriend. Of course, chemistry isn't a problem for Hinkle's North Carolina Courage team. Coach Paul Riley and teammate Jessica McDonald both have stated publicly that Hinkle's faith has not negatively affected the team or its play. Hinkle's saga is only the most recent evidence that American Christians need to develop a theology of getting fired, or if you happen to be in Hinkle's profession, a theology of getting cut from the team. It's simply more likely than not that we too will face a choice at some point between our career and our convictions. We are the first Christians who have had to face this choice, and thank God the choice isn't our life and our convictions. It is for our brothers and sisters in other parts of the world. Jailene Hinkle chose well. Will we? It's true. It's true. It's true. I mean... How embarrassing. Sport become science. Great. The science. Trigger warning. All players, please report to your designated safe space. Freedom of religious expression, unless you are a Christian. Yeah, I've been dealing with this in my career for 2 decades. 2 decades. I just recently dealt with this in our own community, right? It's just something you have to deal with when you're a Christian. You choose. You choose. What is your God? Because your God, okay, God isn't a name, right? God is a title. God is a position. The Bible itself even says there are other gods, right? Not gods like God, creator of the universe, but gods like things people put first in their lives. If you put anything first in your life, that is, by title and by definition, your God. If she were to put soccer first in her life, that becomes an idol. That becomes her God. If you don't put God first, then God as in Yahweh, Jesus, Elohim, Adonai, the great I am. You don't put him first, then he's not your God positionally in your life, right? For some people, a paycheck is their God. For some people, the bottle is their God. For some people, porn is their God. The Lord God Almighty, Yahweh, Jehovah, Jesus, is my God, is her God. And when you come up to that choice in your own life, are you going to choose God? Are you going to choose... I guess what are you going to choose as your God, I suppose, is the best way to ask the question. How many transgender athletes will make up women's soccer teams in the future? You know, it's interesting. There's this stereotype about women's soccer being full of lesbians, right? Are you guys having a completely different conversation in the chat? Are you even listening to me? Zapruder is, God is a name and a title. God is not a name. God is not a name. God is a title. My God, right? My Lord and my God. It's not, the name of God is the tetragrammaton. It is the unspeakable name of God, YHWH. Yahweh, translated Jehovah. Right? Did you say something, Mike? But that, yes, ideally, the great God of the universe should be the God of our lives. Thor was a name, God is a position. Right. Right. Yahweh is the one true God. If it was just Yahweh is God, right? It's not, though. It's Yahweh is the one true God. The one true God. Right? And therefore, I guess, yeah, when you put capital G, maybe you can use it as a name. But I think you guys get the point. What you put positionally first in your life is your God. And you know what? I had people in this community. I had people on Twitter. I even had Ethan saying, you know, whatever, the business should come first, your family should come first, whatever. It's like that's not what I believe. That's not what I believe, and that is certainly not what the Bible teaches, right? I mean, Jesus himself said that if you love your child, if you love your father, if you love your mother, you love your family more than you love him, then he's not your God. So, does that make me a zealot? Here's to zealotry. That's fine. I don't care. You can call me a zealot. You can call me a nut. I don't care what you call me. I only care what God calls me. I only care what Jehovah, Yahweh. It's like the breath of God. Yahweh. I only care what Jesus calls me when I come face to face to him. I only hope that he says, my good and faithful servant, to me. It's God, family, community. The self is last. Perkindo says, exactly. Yehovah. Yeah, but it's the transliteration and all that stuff. I mean, his name was Yeshua, not Jesus. The Greekification of the very name of Christ. I never understood that. You know, turning Santiago or turning James, even going like from James. Now I'm even curious if James is it Greekification. Oh wait, where's my wife's Jewish Bible? But James, even transferring to James is like Santiago in Spanish. Saint Tiago. Santiago. How do you get from James to Tiago? I don't know. Anyways, that's sort of tangential. Quintica says, stating that pride is a sin is as a juxtaposition for degenerates who take pride in perversion is a refreshing sentiment. It is. It's also sticking your finger in their eye. But pride is a sin. And I did a whole hour on pride as defined in the Bible and how the language has changed. The language, and I don't blame anyone in modern context for this. This has taken time. And I think there's probably a nefarious entity behind these kind of changes where the Bible itself says in the end days, good will be bad and bad will be good and sin will be righteousness. Oh, I can't remember all the exact terminology, but they've someone out there with a grand plan, they've done exactly that. They've turned pride, which in the Bible is explicitly a sin, explicitly, implicitly, and ubiquitously a sin or a negative at all times. Somehow or another, even just since 1611 when that Bible was translated, pride has been turned into a virtue. It's the exact opposite. Up is down, left is right. Up is down and left is right. Santiago, like the parrot from Aladdin? Saint Lago? What? Mormon magic underwear? That's sort of a strange thing to throw out there. Checkpoint? I don't know. What are you talking about? It's totally the end days by that standard. Well, it's certainly set up for it, is it not? Unrelated Coma says, who could the nefarious entity behind these changes be? Gosh, I don't think I could speculate. Armed Poet says, the reason why Christ was persecuted was because when the Pharisees asked who he was, he said, I am. Yep. Yeah, it's funny because that's something Chuck Missler used to say. It's like for all these people who like they kind of like hem and haw and debate and doubt that Jesus ever claimed to be the Messiah, ever claimed to be God incarnate. I'm pinwheeling. Hold on, I'm going to wait until I stop pinwheeling. Am I pinwheeling for you guys, or is it just my computer? F? Question mark? Serena says pride is still a sin. Pride is still a sin, but that's the thing. They use, well, that's not the pride we mean. Right? You should have pride in yourself. You should have pride in who you are. You should have pride in where you stick your genitals. No. Where was I even going? Do you remember what I was talking about? Huh? You remember what I was talking about? Gay? No, that's not what I was talking about. Darn it. Train of thought derailed. Audio is solid, no issues. All right, that's weird. Why am I pinwheeling on my computer? Oh, because I have a crappy computer. What about taking pride in your work? Patrick Swayze, personally, I believe taking pride in your work is detrimental to growing in your craft. If you look at your work and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so good. This is so amazing. You hobble yourself from growth, right? If you look at your work rather and you say, shoot, I could have done that better. I could have done that better. Wow, that arm is too long. Her eye is too far forward. If you look at your work critically rather than pridefully, you grow in your skill set because you try to work on those things. And that's sort of a simple... pride is the antithesis of growth. It is stagnating, it is corrupting, and it is beguiling. It is self-deluding. I don't think taking pride in your work is a good idea at all. Patrick says, I don't think the word translates anymore. checkpoint with some medical suggestions on. I'm gonna allow it if my computer stops lagging, which it's not. All right, let me try opening up this window on me other computers. Oh, bloody hell. YouTube. All right, there we go. Pop out chat. That'll be a better way. A better way. All right, they take pride in celebrating chugga chugga choo choo, that poor potato. They take pride in corrupting children and closing down city economies. Oh my gosh, did you see what they're doing at all the crap they're doing for Mile High Comics? Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Hey Mike, read us Jeremiah 9:23 to 24. Alright, let me grab King James Bible Online. Paste. Go. Jeremiah 9:23 to 24. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. Amen. What a great scripture, Comic Collection Agency. Yeah. That's right. If you have something, consider where you got it. You got it from the Lord. You got it from the Lord. That means you shouldn't take pride in it. And then people, well, aren't you proud to be a Christian? I am humbled to be a Christian. I am humbled that the God of the universe came down to Golgotha, died on that hill for my sins. That is humility. It's the opposite of pride. Pride cometh before the fall. Pride is what caused Satan to reject God, to reject the Lord. Now I'm starting to use it. You know what I mean? Aaron says, but I do understand why you can't be proud, because nothing is yours. Any good you have done is allowed by God, or any accomplishment was allowed by God, using other people to reach that point. Aaron, did you have another point? Yet again, pride is the goal. If I look at my work and it's bad, the fact that I have to be better is for me to reach a point where I can be proud of my work ultimately. Aaron, I promise you, brother, I promise you as an artist, you never want to be proud of your work ultimately. Because you're never going to reach perfection, man. Right? You're never going to reach perfection. Thank you. You too. And it is pride. If you ever reach a point where you look at your work and you're proud, dude, you have, it's not that you've reached the zenith of your work. It's that you have reached a point where you don't think you need to grow anymore. And if you do, you're either growing or you're stumbling, man. You're growing or you're stumbling. So as a fellow artist, as a peer in the arts, don't do that. Please take that from me. I am privileged to be a Christian, proud to be an American. I am fortunate to be an American. I'm proud of America. I'm proud of my country, right? But I am an American because I was born an American. I had nothing to do with the accomplishment of becoming an American. Now, some people do accomplish becoming an American. Do they take pride in that, or are they proud of? I don't know. Like I said, the word itself has been so muddled and changed, right? That it doesn't mean what it should mean. They've replaced words like privileged or gosh, I had a whole list before. They've replaced words that are better qualified for, like, how should you feel when you're part of an organization that does well? Humbled or I can't even remember anymore. Sorry, I should just go back and watch the Pride is a Sin video. America is God's country, so it's okay to be proud to be in God's kingdom. If you're using the word. I think being proud of your work is confused with being dedicated. No. No, I don't think so. Because I think back to like 20 years ago. I was proud of my work 20 years ago. And because of that, I was stifling my own progress. And I sort of translate that into pretty much everything in life. If you sit there and you're just so proud of yourself for what you're doing, you're stifling your progress and your ability to get better. That's not to say you can't get better. It's stifling your ability to get better. It's stifling your growth. Pride as in vanity, yes. Red Syrup, you're late. Sit at the back of the class. Go-Go Party Time says, I think I'm confusing it with accomplishments. Like when you work hard and take pride that you accomplished a set goal. However, there's always another goal. I don't know. I think that word is better described as satisfied. Right? Satisfaction. I have a sense of satisfaction that I set out to do something and I completed it. And it's closure, right? I hate leaving things open-ended. I hate starting a piece of artwork and going to bed before I finish it because I don't have closure. It doesn't give me pride that I finished a piece, right? But it gives me satisfaction and it gives me closure. And see, I think it could be as simple as we've just dumbed down the language to the point where we use the word pride and we replace all these other more accurate descriptors, right? It could be as simple as that, and that could be how the enemy has convinced the world that pride is a good thing. Because it's just right? And then when you stand up on a biblical principle that is sound and true, that pride is a sin. Pride comes before the fall. Then people who are so used to the dumbed down version of the usage of the word pride think, oh, what antiquated thinking. You're a Luddite. You are whatever. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Ryan says, I'm late too, Miss Dr. Mike. I'll take 10 demerits. Yes, you will. And go stand in the corner on your head. As a software guy, I totally get that. If I go to bed knowing my code won't compile, I can't sleep. Right. No, never be satisfied. That's when you stagnate. You need to be happy with the progress. I'm happy doing the work. What if I take pride in my lack of pride? Well, then you're just the humblest man on earth, Josh Graydon. People... oh, yeah, I was trying to look at this over on this side because it's easier to read. Kevin says, you may be confusing pride with righteousness. Who? What? Where? Me? Being satisfied and happy when God tells you, well done, thou good and faithful servant, isn't sinful. No. That's like, I don't think that's even... Look, taking pride in other people, like, I'm proud of my children. But that's not being proud of me.
Wrong.
Right? I want God to be proud of me. Right? That's a redirection, I think. That's not me being proud. I guess, I don't know, if you had to redefine it, self-pride. I mean, you really got to get that specific. Is there another way to say it? Checkpoint says wrong. Billy the Wombat says wrong. Self-congratulatory is the bad part of pride. Stango Tiger Fists says, Stango, are you new here? Checkpoint. A citizen was derived from the word denizen and city. But don't you want to be proud of your kids? Yeah. But you created your kids just like you created your work. Well, not just like I said. The argument is going to run in circles because it's about semantics. Liberty Bell says, yeah, I think it's about semantics now, as I said, because of the dumbing down of the language. And it's not just the word pride. You see this all the time, man. They're dumbing down this. This is 1984, man. It's 1984. They want to confuse the language. They want to dumb down the language. It's all about newspeak. Man, how did Orwell know all this stuff in advance? Alpha H says, what is this, Mike? Exchanging gifts? You be proud of me, I be proud of you. That's a funny way to put it. If I understand... Oh, Zephon, what is that? People are so scared. This argument is going... Okay. He knew because it was going on in his time, too. Oh. Already, huh? Orwell probably lied in bed and thought about this stuff for hours every night. I know, right? You didn't build that, says Obama. Liberty Bell says, I can't remember the last time I used the word... I heard someone use the word ironic correctly. Yeah. Isn't it ironic? No, that's not irony. It only seems like Orwell saw this in advance because they took his book as a manual to follow. I say that all the time. I'm like, 1984 was supposed to be a warning, not a manual, not a how-to. Where am I at? Let me see. I can't find my restream. There it is, dashboard. I'm getting ready to go to the beach today. And we got a minute and 15 seconds left. Orwell was a socialist. He was scared of fascism, which it's two sides of the same coin. Zephon says, I'm stupid, thank you. I don't think you're stupid, Zephon. You know how to use a computer, don't you? My new shirt, ironic, to look nice for that interview tomorrow. Ironic, no, what? Ironic. The beach is evil, that's where the sharks live. Socialists, but afraid of fascism. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. The fascism is an outgrowth of socialism. It's just a different branch of the same tree. Same with communism. It's all socialism.
Remember when I got bitten on the toe at the
Bitten on the toe?
Yeah,
By something in the water? So you're not going to go in the water this time? You scared? You scared, bro?
No.
You scared?
No,
You scared?
I don't like water.
Oh, you just don't like water. Is that a pimple on the side of your head?
No, it's a bump.
It's a bump?
I get hit there.
It's weird. And the jellyfish and eels, yes. All right, guys. Well, it is time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Did he just say it's time? We didn't have a lot of fun in the desert. We didn't have a lot of fun in the sand. But saddle up those cows to walk behind us now because we're headed to the promised land. Alright, socialists is just communists not holding a gun. True. Enjoyed today's show, Patrick Swayze. I enjoyed bringing this show to you guys. Enjoyed you guys hanging out with me, being part of this fellowship. Please, guys, keep in mind that you are the body of this fellowship. So if you want us to grow with pure muscle, then you have to get out there and get other people to join us every day, subscribe to this channel, and be part of this fellowship, because it is through you that we grow as a channel and as a fellowship. And I'm being redundant, and I'm not even trying to run out the clock. We're over time. So, sorry, terrible way to end the show. Everybody, keep praying. You know what? I said it wrong. It was not. It wasn't Emily. It's Anna, Emily, and oh my gosh! It was. I just had it. Anna's sister is still missing, as far as I know. So please keep her in your prayers. Ellen? I think it's Ellen. I feel so bad. But yeah, keep her in your prayers. Keep praying. Keep in the Word. And spread the good word, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you all. Love you. See you next time.